Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. And for this particular video, ladies and gentlemen, kindly let me know the name of the specific county you are watching us from and whether you are affected by the flooding situation in the Republic of Kenya, because I know some of our subscribers were affected. At least I received some messages from some of our subscribers, but now they are safe. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president of the Republic of Kenya, donated 2 million Kenya shillings to the Red Cross Society of Kenya to help the victims of the flooding situation in the Republic of Kenya. That move by Uhuru Kenyatta rattled the presidency, and William Ruto immediately swung into action. The first thing he did was to convene an urgent cabinet meeting, because remember, since the flooding began, William Ruto never spoke about it. He was just missing in action. Then number two, William Ruto then flew to Mai Mahiu, where 40 Kenyans had actually lost their lives as a result of the flooding. And William Ruto also unleashed the office of the First Lady to help with the distribution of foodstuff in Athi River. And today the First Lady was in Kibra, which is going to form the basis of this analysis. And while in Kibra, I noted one thing, that when Esther Passaris was speaking, and when she mentioned the name Raila Odinga, the crowd went wild. And you could see from the body language of the First Lady, which I want you guys to observe very closely, she was actually shocked. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you this simple question. Why do you think the First Lady picked Kibra? Because you all know that there are other places in Nairobi which were affected the most, like Madari. Why do you think she picked Kibra? Because even
mimi kwa majina naitwa Collins Odhiambo Cheng. Mimi ni mkaji wa Huruma Ngei, kijiji moja najiita Madoya. Sisi tumeathirika sana na maji huku chini.
Kwa hivyo sisi tunaomba tu Sakaja au wakubwa penye wako wakuja hata sisi watuone kama watu. Pia sisi tulipiga kura. Tunasikia tu vitu zinatembea huko nje, watu wanapatiwa. Sisi hatujaona msaada wowote, na tunasikia tumepewa 24 hours tukwe tunatoka hapa, na hatuna mahali popote pa kwenda, na tuko na watoto.
Tunaweza tukaomba tu serikali iweze ikatusaidia, kama nasikia maoni yetu. Wenyewe tunahangaika, hatuna hata mwenye anaweza akatusaidia, kama ni madoa haijulikani.
Na the cabinet secretary Maloza was very clear that they distributed some foodstuffs in Kibra some 2 weeks ago. Of course, we all understand that Kibra is the epicenter of Nairobi politics. And of course, we also know that the first family probably has some interest in Kibra. We've seen the daughter going to Kibra on many occasions.
Yes.
And we've also seen the son donating football jersey to some local teams there. I don't want to get into that. I want us to focus on the reaction when Raila Odinga's name was actually mentioned. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before I dive in, I also want to give a bit of my advice to all Kenyans. Please, we never know what's going to happen the next day, tonight, or any other day, because according to the meteorological department, the flooding might actually continue. Earlier today, they released information that the rains might actually increase today and probably also tomorrow. So whenever you are in your house, if you feel you are not safe, please just look for a place to stay. And in case you are in your house and it's flooding, please ensure you switch off all the electricity, if possible, from the poles, so that you avoid the cases of electrocution. And of course, it's also important that when you are seeking for help online, just specify, be very specific that I'm stranded in this place, the address of the place, your contact, so that it becomes easy. I remember earlier today, there was a lady who was in distress. There was a lady in Kitengela who was in some distress, and you know, she had panicked, and it was very difficult for people to really help because she didn't specify the place, and also she didn't leave the number. And when she actually went back to Twitter and left those details, it was easy for Kenyans to come through for her. Importantly, also, let us just be our brothers' keepers. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Esther Passaris decided to invoke the name of Raila Odinga? Because you all know that Raila Odinga is actually in Dubai right now. Why do you think Esther Passaris decided to invoke his name? Number one, I think Esther Passaris gauged the mood of the crowd. She's a politician. She understands the people of Kibra. And you know, there was the first lady, government officials, and maybe she gauged the mood and realized that if I mention Raila Odinga here, this crowd are going to be happy. Number two, you know, Esther Passaris is one of the few ODM leaders, the rebels. And she has always found it very difficult to address the residents of Nairobi who voted for her. I'm talking of Azimio, especially in Azimio strongholds. And here was a situation where there was humanitarian crisis, and she had intervened. So for her, it was an opportunity for her to also tell these people that I'm still in talks with Baba. But why do you think the residents of Kibra decided to react the way they reacted when the name of Raila Amolo Odinga was mentioned? Because for me, it's actually unusual. Listen in again. Number one, in my view, is Raila Odinga factor in Kibra. Raila Odinga was first elected to represent the people of Kibra. I think by then it was Kibera. In 1992. Again in 1997. And again in 2002. And 2002. And of course, we remember the constitution was changed. And in 2010, when the new constitution was promulgated, it became mandatory that for you to be elected or to contest for the presidency, you don't contest for parliamentary seat. And that's how Raila Odinga then left that seat. And all along, Kibra has always been his base. So it's just confirming that Raila Odinga, the name Raila Odinga, cannot be easily erased in Kibra. And this is a clear message to anybody who is intending to contest in Kibra. And that's why sometimes I pity my friend Felix Oduor Jalango. You know, Langata is just an extension of Kibra, and Raila Odinga has always made it very clear that Langata is his sitting room, Kibra is the bedroom. So Raila factor is still going to be a factor in Kibra for a very long time. Number two, and this is something which Raila Odinga, if he's going to watch this video, probably must take seriously, that is being missed in the Republic of Kenya. And if I were him, the first place I would visit when I come back into the country is Kibra. These people have missed him. These are the people who would always turn up during the mandamanos, the demonstrations. They've always stood with Raila Odinga. Now they are facing serious problems of flooding. Their leader, who is giving them hope, because Raila Odinga is the only leader who gives them hope, is out of town. And then they are being confronted by people they view as Raila Odinga's enemy. So you mention the name of Raila, they approve it. So for me, Raila Odinga needs to make a visit to Kibra the moment he comes back. And lastly, I think the residents of Kibra were also communicating. They were sending a coded message to William Ruto. To Rachel Ruto, sorry. They were sending a coded message to Rachel Ruto. And the message is simple. You can bring whatever you're bringing. We are going to take them. But you must know that here, hapa kwetu Kibra, the only person we listen to is none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. And it was loud and clear. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. And by the way, Bumula Member of Parliament, Jack Wamboka, one of my favorite members of Parliament, is planning to impeach the Agriculture Minister, Mithika Linturi. Good move, but he won't succeed. Mithika Linturi will not be impeached. He has already gathered over 100 signatures. That impeachment will fail on that day. Tomorrow, I'll explain to you guys the details about that impeachment and why it's going to fail. Until that time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.